This Story-gami, written by Richard Alexander, will show you how to make this jumping Astro frog, a design by Michael LaFosse and Richard Alexander.
This story takes place at Frog Mountain. Fold your square in half to form a green mountain. As nighttime comes, a shadow hides half of the mountain, so fold it in half. The next day, you can see the whole mountain again, with its ridge running to the top. On the right side of the mountain lives Freddie the Frog, and on the left lives his fiancée, Frederica. Normally, they would picnic on the top of Frog Mountain, but today, Freddie called her to apologize. "I'm sorry, Frederica, but I won't have time to travel to the top of Frog Mountain. Let's meet halfway at the base of the ridge. I need to tell you some exciting news." Fold Freddie to the center ridge and then Frederica. So their two tips meet at the base of the ridge. Frederica was quick to ask, "Why couldn't we meet at the top today?" Fred said, "I have a new job which I must start right away." "That's great. Where will you work?" asked Frederica. Freddie said, "That greenhouse over there. They hired me to zap flies." As you've turned the model over, it looks just like a greenhouse with a peaked roof and one wall on this side and another wall on the other side. "Oh, Freddie," croaked Frederica, "you have talked of being an Astro frog ever since we were tadpoles. Zapping all day will sap your strength. How will you find time to realize your dream?" "Relax," replied Freddie. "The greenhouse job is part of the plan, and with your help, it'll be great fun." So over to the greenhouse they went. First, let's move this wall of the greenhouse to the center valley line, while we allow this point to point outward. "Great," said Freddie. "Now let's do the same thing on the other side." "Look at what we've just made. A rocket ship," exclaimed Frederica. They were both excited. "Let's blast off for a picnic on Mars." "First we need some kerosene," said Freddie, as they pushed and pulled the rocket ship over to the local fueling station. "Friendly Frank, please fill the tank," asked Freddie. Frank scratched his head and said, "Frankly, Fred, it'll cost a fortune to fill it full of fuel." "Thanks, Frank. We'd better go think." Fred knew Frank was right, so they pushed the rocket right back, then hopped up to this beautiful balcony. There they pondered a new plan. Among pots he had hanging there of gorgeous green garlic grown at the greenhouse. "I have an idea," exclaimed Frederica. "Since our rocket is too big, let's lay it down and fold the base up to the balcony." They did just what she said. "Now let's turn this around and fold the same edge back down, making it the base of the rocket again." There were many layers of paper to fold, and the thickest parts began to kink and twist, but they finally placed the base precisely on top of the last crease. "Brilliant," said Freddie. "Now we have a smaller ship which will take less fuel." Our froggy friends took their reduced rocket ship back to Frank's filling station, and Freddie said, "Friendly Frank, forget the past and fill her fast." Frank scratched his head again, looking at their shorter ship. "What frugal frogs, but bitterly bad news I have for you. The cost of kerosene has doubled. Although you're not poor, half as much fuel will cost just as much money as the full tank before." Freddie and Frederica looked at each other, then smiled at Frank. "Thanks, but no thanks, Frank," said Freddie. "Frogs are experts at green propulsion. We have no need for kerosene. Zapping flies has made us lean. Unlike people, we don't need rockets. We don't need cars. We'll just stretch our legs and hop to Mars." With that, they stretched their legs a little like this. Now place your thumb behind the origami frog, then gently stroke your frog's back while pushing downward and backward until your finger snaps off the fold, propelling your jumping Astro frog into space. Feel free to shape your jumping frogs by rounding the nose, curling the tongue, and opening the mouth. Fuel your Astro frogs with origami flies. Turning each of the right angle corners inward under the leg area will stiffen the spring action. Smaller frogs jump best. Perhaps it is that they are younger.